Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Teacher's Table Live. I'm Michael Matera, and I am super excited to be here doing another live stream with you all at the beginning of our school year. And we're just waiting for people to kind of come in, introduce themselves. If you could do that, that'd be great. So far, it's a Monday, and we've started off our school doing a hybrid model, so that's what I'm in. I know a lot of you guys are in different situations. If you want to drop that into the chat, that would be good, so that we can kind of hear where everybody's at and what you guys are experiencing. I see we have some returners here. That's fabulous. Love seeing Natalia here. Good to see you back. Thomas, wow, it's already international. We got Germany and Mexico here. Love seeing it. We got a Carrie's here. Awesome to see you here. Today's like goal, if we can get that party going, it's going to be 15. So hopefully today we get to our 15 mark. That'd be great. Really excited to talk a little bit about something I ran in class, and I kind of can't wait to share that with you. So I guess to tee that up though, or before we tee that up, I wanted to ask you guys, what's something that's worked in your class? You know, let's take the time frame to like last week or today. What's something you did that really clicked with students, really worked? And again, if you could kind of remind us if you are virtual or not, because that helps us. That helps us know. Jamie's here. Good to see you, Jamie. Love seeing you back. Hope you are all well. Just kicking back on my new patio. Glad I made it this week. Your new patio looked awesome. I remember seeing the pictures. You guys laid those awesome pavers. Looks awesome. Congrats. John's here from North Dakota, teaching face to face. Me too. Me too. I mean, I got that mask on. Definitely. So again, something that worked in your classroom. I'll go ahead and share one of the things that worked in my classroom. Again, being face-to-face, trying to think of a way to make that face-to-face. There are these moments, right, where like you're inside all day, they're in rows all day. And I was trying to think of a way to make that a little more fun, a little more exciting. So I actually brought in my Nintendo Switch, and I make the kids hand sanitize in between plays. And this has been something that's kind of nice in those little like moments that we could. We've played a few games that really worked for the time frame we had. That's kind of the key, right? You don't have a ton of time to play, and you kind of want to rotate who's playing. So Natalia's fully virtual, so this this one wouldn't work for you. But that's not really what the whole session's about. This was just my little extra tale here, that playing the Nintendo Switch with kids in the class has been a really nice activity. And I love the Switch because it's got like 2 controllers automatically, and then if you buy one more controller, you're kind of getting 2 more controllers because they can kind of tilt them to their sides. So game I would suggest, if you have a Switch and you want to bring it in, is one called Tower Fall. It is quick. It plays in like, each round is like 40 seconds, so lots of kids can get to it, get into it. So yeah, think about doing that. Let's see. Carrie says she's teaching face-to-face. I did GimKit with my seniors, and they loved it. GimKit, I don't know if you saw, just added like a Floor's Lava cooperative mode, which I thought was super cool. So check that out. I actually haven't played it yet, but I know they added it. So definitely check that out. I'm going to just tweet out that this is started here before we get into our sort of main show and tell here. Join us on Teacher's Table now. Boop. Live. Only missing you. Boop. Tweet. All right. So again, we have today's like goal is 15 likes. So if we could do that, that would be awesome. Carrie says she has the Nintendo Switch and she brings Mario Party occasionally. So I tell you, hey, Kyle's here. Good to see you, Kyle. That's awesome. So one of the things that worked, like I said, was bringing in the Switch. There's a game called Towerfall. I would totally look into getting it, Carrie. It's one of these ones you can just download from the eShop. It's quick. It's light. It's one of those couch co-op modes where like you're all sitting on the couch and you're playing, and it's like, oh man, let's load it up one more time. Super quick. So that's one I liked. And another one's called Hidden in Plain Sight. Super quick as well, and a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. I have some more suggestions, but again, that's not really what this one's about, so I thought I'll move on. Jeremy's here. Good to see you. Jeremy, I'm checking out your boss battle template, and I was thinking too, wondering if you want to be on Well Played maybe this week to talk about that. I think that'd be really fun. You can DM me that if that works for you or not. Let's see. Jamie says, if she's face to face with her fourth graders, one thing that works for me was the thin slide activity. One slide, one picture, one phrase, 5 minutes on a topic. Then they did a quick 20-second presentation on their slide. I agree. I did thin slide and my kids loved it. I've actually used it twice. Jeremy, good to know. And all right, so the activity that worked in my class that I'm kind of excited. Wait, we got some more things coming in here. Natalia says, Zoom in thinking routine is a really good one. Promote prediction skills, and kids love it. Nice. I'll have to check that out as well. I like these suggestions. All right, so one of the things that worked this week, today, I am a social studies teacher, for those of you that don't know. And one of like my favorite parts of teaching social studies is definitely having like doing simulations. I love getting kids to think actively, be part of a simulation, put them in sort of the driver's seat of history. Only problem is in the whole Corona setup, you're 6 feet apart. We actually are a hybrid model, so I have like 4 or 5 kids that are virtual, and then I have all my kids that are not virtual. But again, they're 6 feet apart. Really hard to do a simulation where you kind of want them sitting with their team and deciding things, and maybe they're trading little pieces or cards. I was like, how am I going to do that? So I'll show you what I came up with, and I kind of dig it. So this is my class website that I use. I like it. It's a nice little layout. It uses Google Sites, textbook, some other resources if they have any missing work. This is where they go for like my Realm of Nobles stuff, past units, and then the most current lesson is at the top, right? So we can kind of go through all the lessons I've done so far. But this is the lesson I was kind of excited about. I was trying to do this trade simulation. I've done this simulation in the past. It's always a hit, but how am I going to do it? This is what I came up with at like 3 a.m. this morning. It sort of hit me. I woke up, got out of bed, built all this, and it was all done in time for class. The life of a teacher, right? So I always open my class with a quote of the day. Here's what's today. Put all your excuses aside and remember, you are capable. And kids come in, they sort of type that in this journal document, and then we sort of process that. Kids kind of tell me what they think about that. That's the flow of every class for me. Then here's my class plan. We're doing this simulation. They get assigned groups. There are all these resources in the game. Each round, I'm going to ring a little bell. The rounds consist of collecting your resources, trading your resources, and then developing. So here's how this works. I'll load into one of the classes that's already done it. So this, I made a copy of this per class period that I have. And I made this editable by all. I didn't share it in a Google Classroom. I just told kids, you're going to interact on your page, right? So like this is the city-state of Thebes, Giza. You can see kind of the 2 products they make. So Memphis makes pottery and grain. This down here is a development board. So it started with just the bottom line highlighted. And what I did was I just made individual like boxes. And then when they upgrade this, they click and they kind of just pull it up like a bar graph. And now they have that particular development, right? And on the development board, I don't know if you can see it, if it's big enough on your screen or not, but underneath it, it shows you what products you need to sort of go up in that category. And again, Memphis has these 2 products. They were told to keep track of how much they have on a Google Doc, so they're just keeping a Google Doc. And if we jump back to the website here, so they would go to their class development boards, like you just saw. And then I made Google Meets for all of those city states. So then every kid opened their Google Meet. I had them mute their mic. And so they're in their city states meet. Each city state had 2 people in the group, 2 or 3 people in the group. And so they're all in there. They would use the chat feature, the chat box, to sort of type what they want to get. All right, so we have pottery, but we need some timber. So we're like, who's got the timber? They look here and they're like, all right, Kadesh has timber. And they would click that Google Meet when it's the trade round, and trading would begin. They're starting to type. They're starting to speak, and say, hey, I need this. They're shouting some things across the classroom. During that trade round, it is frantic. It is fun. It brought back that sort of, I don't know, feel of a simulation for me, and I think for the students. And I kind of loved it. It was pretty awesome. And it worked really well. And kids really liked it. They also said that this setup was pretty nice for them. It kept it organized. It was pretty easy for them to sort of show that they upgraded. They upgraded their developments. They could see what other developments were happening. And then what I did is after like 2 or 3 rounds, they were able to. I would actually present this on the big board up front, and we kind of go through all these city states and kind of say, like, see this one, even distribution here. They are not like very technical in any one category, but they have at least a little bit of development in every category compared to, say, like this one, where they're pretty high up on one, but they haven't really developed in any of the others. You could ask them good history questions then too, like what would be the advantage or disadvantage of living in such a city state. And then on top of all of this, I did a fun little addition where after they got used to the rounds, and I definitely have structured rounds where you collect your 2 resources. So they add that they got their pottery and their grain to their list of how much they have. Then we do a trade round. They have about 3 minutes to do the trade round. I then ring the bell. They go trade. Then we ring the bell, trading ceases. Then them and their partner in their little chat room sort of chat what developments they want to spend their resources on. They up those developments. Then before we begin a new round where we would collect those resources, what I did was after they got used to it, so after about 2 or 3 of those cycles, I said, all right, we're going to add a little twist here. And if you jump back here, you will see that for the city-state meetings, there is one that just says Mr. Matera. And I said I could represent sort of an outsider. And we then sort of process that. Now, if you guys are all city-states that are in and around ancient Egypt, what's the benefit to an outside trader for you guys? And, at first they were like, well, they might have different products. And I was like, yeah, but in the course of this game, these are the only products we have. So, good idea, doesn't work here. But I said, do you have any other ideas? And they eventually sort of got it that the outside trader, their economics may be different, right? That like this outside trader may have a lot of timber and your region doesn't. So timber is very valuable in your region, but not a whole lot of value to them. So they may trade you more timber for some of the things that you have that you might actually have in abundance. So it spiced some things up. It made them think a little differently. And then the other I don't know if you guys have ever used this website, Classroom Screens. I love Classroom Screens. I use them every day. If you log in, you can like save your screen and your setup, but you have all these tools down here. And so another thing I did, I had 2 dice like that. And you can get all fancified if you want. I usually make 1 red and then I make 1 green. So again, I have this usually pre-built and it's all saved and ready to go. The other thing I do is add, usually I have 2 timers that I have preset. So for example, my trade rounds, I would just have 3 minutes and I'd hit play. They could then see on the board how much time they had left. These dice, going back to these dice, I use these dice various ways. In this particular thing, after they got comfortable, after they like knew what was going on, I used these dice to have sort of random events happen. And so what I did was the odd numbers are bad events, the even numbers are good events. The higher the even or odd number is, the sort of worse or better the scenario was. So I would hit roll, it would spin, and then boom, I would tell them like, oh, 3 happened. Like we have a little bit of a drought. So anybody that makes sort of crops or farm animals, like anybody that's products related to those, like you don't produce that one product. So now they're going into this round with less stuff. And that's not good in a trade simulation. So that was just a ton of fun. And again, a good use of the dice, a good way to spice it up between that and then the trading with me, with the Google Meet here. It all actually worked pretty well. It worked for my kids that were virtual. You could do this entire thing virtually. It would work really fine all virtually. So if you're doing virtual, I get that this is pretty social studies focused here, but my hope was by you looking at this, it might spark an idea for your classroom. It might let you see a different way you could build something out in your classroom. I didn't pay attention at all to the chat, so let me scroll back here. I'm getting there. Me too. All right, here we go. Kyle says, I've definitely had those early morning wake ups inspirations. They're the best when I'm half awake and trying to find the power button. Who's getting? I never turn my computer off. So true. My computer, I just wiggle the old mouse and we're good to go. But you just turn the computer off by closing it. What's a power button? Love it. Let's see. Let's talk about turning off the computer. I love it. All right, Jamie says, did you pre-assign city states or did the students choose? So if I wasn't doing this virtually, like back when I did it regularly, I would just have a little name card by all these like tables and kids just come in and I'd say, hey, go to whatever table you want. This year what I did was they could kind of draft like I put them in groups and then I just kind of said, all right, you're group 1, choose one of the city states. They had no understanding of like why one is better than the other. So they're really picking with no real data. I like to just see how the chips fall. Not all of the resources are equal by any means. Carrie says that's settlers on steroids. I definitely I love simulations. I mean, it's just fun. Kyle, this is awesome. I totally just got an idea from this. Hey, good. I mean, like that's what I was hoping. Like I said, I knew this was going to be social studies heavy, but again, hoping it helps. Becky made it. I love it. Becky is tomorrow's well-played guest, and we're talking more about video games in the classroom. This was a very exciting activity. I loved it. Emma, I don't know if you're still here, but so glad to have you here. We did just hit 15, so we gotta do our confetti here. All right, we did it. We made it to today's like goal of 15. Absolutely love it when our community hits our goals. Again, that little like goal is something that we share together, and that we can like do this together. It does help the YouTube analytics. It lets YouTube know that this is a great community, and so I really appreciate you guys helping us there. Let's see. This was my fave history in school. So cool. I love history, right? Megan, yeah, you can save the like layouts. I love it. Like I said, I do several different layouts. Jeremy, you could do lots of sort of simulations. I shouldn't say lots. I mean, it's hard to come up with a simulation. But I would think that there are lots of points you could choose to build one or two around in your year. I'm thinking a lot with probability. Like, I guess I don't know exactly what's all in your class, but class screens is awesome. Becky, totally agree. Classroom screens is a must-have for me. It started out as this little thing I use, and now in my gamified class, now in the virtual class, like just to have that up on my screen is super awesome. So I have a Mac, so I kind of have it on dual screen setup. So the screen that the kids can see, I put several things out there. One, I put this little thing that they can see what homework they're missing. I have another one that shows the leaderboard of my house, not like the individual student leaderboard, but more just like which periods in first, how many points they have, so they can kind of see that. And then I have my history site up, this site up, so that they can they're going to come in and like that would be kind of up, that today's lesson. Then I can kind of point to it and reference it. And when we're talking about the quote of the day, it's right there for me to read. That helps. And then the other screen that I have too is class screens with those like timers and the dice, because a lot of my items and power-ups and cards require dice, and now the kid can just say like, I want to use it. I click the die and it rolls. To make that die rolling experience a little more fun for those who, if you have items in your game that you use die for, I sometimes give the kid, do you want it to be the first, second, or third roll? So like, I have like one item that it breaks if you roll a 5 or 6. So sometimes kid says, I want the third roll to count. So I push it once and we're like, ooh, like should have gone first because it would have worked. Roll 2, like, ooh, 2 would have broke. So now it's roll 3 and ooh, it works. So, you know, that kind of spices up, makes them feel like they're in control of it because I'm the one really clicking this die. Not as fun, right? Let's see. Math could be like Battleship or simulate a battle plan. I love it. That'd be awesome. Let's see. Becky, that makes her think of Settlers of Catan. Like I said, I definitely love all of those kind of games. So definitely. PC can do dual screens too. That's fabulous. I don't know. I'll be honest. I haven't used a PC in like 20 some years. So I've used Chromebooks, iPads, and Macs. Kyle says, we are completely remote and teachers were saying that they were having a hard time with participation. Any websites, mechanics do you suggest to help boost participation by having fun? I definitely like codenames.games, but that's a game. So like it's not necessarily doing their content, but if maybe teachers would like put that at like the back end of their class or maybe the front end of their class, I don't know, something to spice it up. My kids liked it when you do breakout rooms. Again, if you're using Google Meet, I don't know if they've added breakout rooms yet because I've been using Zoom this year. I only used Meet on here because then kids didn't have to like, it was just easy. You could put the links in. I just liked it. So there are reasons to do both. Let's see. Lauren says, finally charged up my laptop. I've been watching on my phone and unable to comment, but I'm here. Good to see you, Lauren. Super fun to have you here. That's funny that you're watching on your phone. Oh, nice, Kyle. They just added the breakout rooms. That's great to know. I will say, too, ways to sort of make more participation happen on all virtual or whatever is, I think, also doing sort of interactive moments. So like brain breaks. And one of the brain breaks I liked when I was doing it is over the course of a week, you would have like a competition, and the competition would be kind of like a scavenger hunt. So I did a scavenger hunt day. I think we did an episode on that, and super fun. I got that from an XP Lapper, Candace. But then I thought, like, one way to continue to keep participation kind of lively is kind of just drop in the scavenger hunt. So my scavenger hunt, they would have to go find something, you know, like whatever you say, keys. And they'd run around their house or whatever, find keys, and they had to get in frame and, you know, have the keys in frame. So if it was all, you know, if they weren't paying attention and they take a photo like this, no, like it's got to be in frame. And what I would do is on a Mac, I don't know, I'm assuming the PC can do this, you can take a screenshot. So I was like all ready with my screenshot, and I would count down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so they knew when to sort of be in frame. And instead of having a scavenger hunt day, I would just drop in these scavenger hunts. So I'd be in the middle of teaching, we're doing this, Roman Empire, that, da 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 da, and then I would be like, find me some toilet paper, go. And they'd get out of their seat, they'd run around, they'd get the toilet paper, they'd come back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take the screenshot, and I would just document how many points you guys had over the course of the week. We were trying to find a winner. You could put them in groups, so then they're kind of hoping that their group gets it. And also, if you do the scavenger hunt, I think a great addition, a fun little addition, is I did what I called, you know, you have selfies. I did what I called screenies, because we're going to take screenshot. So if you have the object, right, you could just hold it up like, yep, I got keys. I'll take the photo of like the grid view of them all holding the keys. But why not do a screenie, right? They would get a bonus point if I liked their photo. So if like they did something silly with it, or if there was like a big smile or whatever, I would give them a bonus point. So it was a way that they could get 2 points on a round and be a little creative too. So I hope that helps, Kyle. Charlie, good to see you here. That's an alum of my class. Good to see you, Charlie. Participation goals, that's always a good idea, Thomas. Setting those, I mean, it's a little bit like these like goals, right? It definitely helps us. Kyle, I'm glad that helped you out. A little bit. I'm a big fan of cooking show, reality TV shows, and I definitely steal a lot of ideas from them for sure. A lot of talking. I think it would definitely help. Thank you for letting me pick your brain anytime. That's what this is about. This is all about us sharing out. Well, I mean, we are almost at that time, so I don't know if you guys have any last thoughts, last idea, but I have some students coming in here. That's awesome. Ishan, things are going great. I had a great day today. We did that city-state trading simulation, you know, when you have like the timber and the gold and the pottery. We did that today, trying to keep alive some of the old things that are just great lessons, but hard to do in this Corona time. But thanks for checking in, Ishan. Let's see here. Yeah, Becky, I agree on all those levels to sort of engage students, right? Make them feel part of a team's important. Make them feel part of a whole class. I call that a house. That's important. And then obviously there's sometimes too that you have to like really honor the individual. So if you're doing a larger gamified experience, you know, having all those levels is an important factor for sure. All right, everyone. This has been a really good chat. I absolutely loved it. I hope you guys gleaned something from it. I hope you guys liked me going through that simulation. I know it might not be the most useful for all of you, but I liked it. And it worked. And the thing that I liked is it brought back a little bit of the class that I missed. So I'm hoping at very least it has encouraged you all to think about how you can bring back what you missed the most, I guess. Oh, I am not the most. I mean, I missed the like easy relationships that you could have. It's a little hard with the 6 feet, but keep on thinking about all the things that you miss and see if you can kind of have that epiphany of how to bring it back. And no, this simulation was good. It wasn't as good as it would have been under normal circumstances. But the fact is, I was able to do it. And kids had that experience. A lot of kids said that was one of their faves they've had this year in my class. I like it. Jamie, thank you so much for saying you enjoyed learning about it. Carrie, always a great time had by all here on Teacher's Table. I really appreciate that. Great way to start the week with a positive note, right? This is, as Carrie pointed out, she was the one that helped me. This is Motivational Monday. We used to have Tooltastic Tuesday. And here we dropped a few tools, didn't we? So you guys, you got a little bit of both today. Becky, you have a good night. You need to catch more of these. No problem. I hope. That would be great. Megan, so cool to have you on the show. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great week, and I want you to kind of go out there and rock it. I'm going to do the same thing. Jamie, you have fun on that back porch, that nice patio that you got going on. Everybody have a great night. If any of you are USM students, I'll see you guys tomorrow.